What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out. We are going live. We haven't been live in a while. We haven't been real live in a while. So I'm just going to give you guys a couple minutes before you start dropping by. But I figured I wanted to go live once more before the week of E3 kicks off. And I actually didn't mention it on the stream, but I'm actually using a new light. By the way, I'm streaming from my laptop. I'm just kind of like going at 100 miles per hour, packing, drafting videos and drafting ideas for this week. This is E3 week. Starts tomorrow. Technically, it already started, but I definitely want to talk about that and digest a little bit, like some of your feedback. Let me know in the comments section if you can actually hear me. I'm using the Fifine K670 microphone right now, and I just want to make sure that you can hear me. I just put this down here. There we go. Where we can kind of like make sure we're getting that crispy audio. Hopefully a little bit better than before. If you can hear me, let me know in the comments section. I'm just troubleshooting this right now, just making sure that we're rolling. Yep, perfect. There we go. Yeah, it's live and it sounds relatively well. All right. Well, welcome everybody to the stream. It's been a while. I haven't streamed in a really, really long time. Efer, I just ordered Moza Mini S because of your review. Hey man, congratulations, Efer. I actually have the Moza Mini Me and the Mini S right now here. So if you guys have any questions, we're definitely going to do, this live Q&A type of thing, just so we can connect, hang out a little bit. Got a drink, I'm not going to lie. So just kind of like trying to relax a little bit before we start into the craziness. But just to give you a kind of like an overview of what I'm kind of like thinking of talking about today, DJI Osmo Action just got in. I've had it for a couple, I would say probably for a solid week and a half. But honestly, I've just been trying to catch up with all the videos. Right now, looking at the list, I just finished the Fayutech G6 Plus video. So that is probably going to be dropping by tonight, but late, like early tomorrow for the East Coast, but late tonight. Then we have a couple videos with Osmo Action, a couple videos with Mini S, a video with the light that I just showed you. We have a comparison with Moment lenses coming up. We have Rhinoshield sent us a couple of cases and lenses as well. So we're definitely going to be playing with that. We have Inception tips coming up. We have Vertigo tips coming up. We have the 180-degree shutter rule coming up in terms of like tips for just overall. We've been doing a lot of 5 reasons why, and that's kind of like the signature review of the channel. And I want to kind of like take a little break from those and just simply kind of like hammer hard tips and tutorials and kind of like get that conversation rolling. So, yeah, that's kind of like going to be the trend coming up for the next couple of weeks. Having said that, I just wanted to take a moment within the live stream and share that starting tomorrow, you will see an influx of sporadic uploads on the channel regarding E3. So just so you know my schedule, tomorrow I'm going to EA Play. I'm going to be the whole day there. So if anybody else is going to EA Play, I believe it's at the Palladium. Probably. I think it's at the Palladium in Hollywood. And on Sunday, I'm going to the Microsoft press briefing at LA Live at their Microsoft Theater. That's going to be a lot of fun. Last year, I had a lot of really cool videos from crowd reactions, all filmed 100%. By the way, that's my wife. You're expressing us something. I'm sorry. It's all good. It's all good. We're live. It's live. So yeah, we're going to the Microsoft briefing. We're recording a lot of crowd reactions. Everything is going to be filmed 100% on smartphones, and I'm actually going to double dip on this whole E3 weekend. This whole E3 week, actually, I'm going to record those reactions, and I'm going to record behind the scenes, but I'm actually going to integrate tips and tutorials in those videos That way, everybody who's like also photography or gamer can kind of like balance that equation, because you will see an influx. I'm honestly forecasting on Sunday, I'm probably going to be uploading 10 plus videos, probably mostly related to crowd reactions and new game announcements, since I'm going to be at the briefing. And that's, I'm very passionate about gaming, and I kind of like, I wasn't really 100% sure if some of you were going to really like or dig the idea of just kind of like fusing my passions together. But I feel that if, I don't know, I feel that if I share and I'm kind of like honest and open with everybody that's kind of like following the channel, mainly for photography, videography, smartphone, and gimbal tutorials, you'll understand. And this is kind of like, I wouldn't say a one-off, but this is not all the time. I'm going to E3, and then the next events are probably kind of like next year, or NAB or CES and stuff like that in January. So it's not going to be a constant. This channel is, and forever will be, primarily smartphone photography and videography. So that's 100% the priority here. I just have a great opportunity to attend a show that I never thought that I was going to be able to go. Growing as a gamer, you see all those things super far away, and now I have the opportunity. So I'm definitely going to capitalize on that. Moment lens on Moza Mini wide. Yes, that's coming. Absolutely. I actually did a preliminary test of it on the Mini S, and it actually worked pretty well. I did test also the moment counterweight on the Mini S, and it worked out pretty well. So that's also coming up very, very soon. But yeah, I just want to get out of the way. So just to finalize the E3 conversation so we can move on to a live Q&A. So tomorrow I'm going to EA Play in Hollywood. So if any of you are going there, definitely let's meet up. Let's hang out. Let's film a little bit. You're probably going to be seeing me carrying a gimbal around there if you're going. On Sunday, I am going to the Microsoft briefing. And right after the Microsoft briefing on Sunday, I'm jumping over to the Bethesda briefing. That is at the Shrine nearby. It's like a 15-minute Uber drive from LA Live. And Monday, pretty much it's kind of like winding back day. I'm getting ready. We're staying in the downtown LA area just so we can go to E3 all 3 days. And I'm going to be filming from the show floor. So if any of you are going, or somebody that's going, if you want to hang out, want to meet, want to play some games, we're going to be creating a lot of content. And I might even go live from the show floor like I did last year. There will be playlists. There will be all that good stuff there. But besides that, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Osmo Action and the Mini S. Before we dive into all that good stuff, if you guys have any questions as well, you're more than welcome to drop them right there on the chat so we can answer them and, connect. That's the whole idea with this, is to reconnect, since we haven't. You're on fire today.
I'm looking at you.
Yeah, my wife actually just dyed her hair, so she's like kind of like waiting for it. So, all right, let's see. I've been binge watching those. Your opinions on the Movi Cinema versus other gimbals worth buying? DJI Nexus 1. My experience with the cinema robot, the Movi, has been very, very limited. I haven't really gotten my hands too much like on the Movi. It is a powerful gimbal, and so far as I hear and understand, in the small little intervals that I had the opportunity to play with it, it's one of the most smoothest gimbals out there right now. I had the opportunity to play with it at the Filmic Pro booth when they were showcasing their next update. Yo, can you close the door so I can hear you? The small amounts of time that I play with the Mobi robot, it was really, really, really smooth. And the cool thing about it is that you can configure the strength of the motors, and you can literally make it so there's really no response to small movements. So even if you're like moving around like this, typical gimbals will just follow very gently, but you can make that motor pretty much reject those small little movements. And even if you kind of like were to turn, it'll just go very, very slow. So I've seen a lot of people that are really, really, really enjoying the movie. So I still have yet to play with it, but it's coming. It's coming. I'm definitely trying to get my hands on it sooner than later because I haven't really dived. Whoa! I almost dropped the microphone. I haven't really done a deep dive on it. So, the price though, worth buying. You know, it's one of those things. It all comes down to you and what you're interested in as a filmmaker. Honestly, at this point, for the type of cinematography that I do on the fly filming, I can pretty much get the job done with most gimbals right now. I'm gravitating usually between Smooth Mobile, Moza Mini or S, depending on the situation. And then the DJI Osmo, I kind of like swap them around, but I'm kind of like already thinking, oh, I'm thinking of doing an Inception mode shot. Then I'll grab the Moza Mini. If I'm thinking of doing like a more precise vertigo or dolly zoom effect, then I will probably pick up a Free Vision as well because it has that automatic motion, or the Smooth 4 because it also has that programmable smooth and focus. So that's an option. What's up, Rayqua? 1901 Swap. What's up? Together always vlogs. I'm with you on anything gaming. Nice. Awesome. Together always. By the way, using Galaxy S9 Plus. Yeah, for the Galaxy S9 Plus, for the Android phones, honestly, my favorite gimbals are always going to be Free Vision gimbals. Those are fantastic gimbals. So I totally encourage you to check that out, because those are honestly, I feel that they're the most complete regarding all the apps, all the software. Like you'll have slow-mo, you'll have the capability to do the dolly zoom as well, higher frame rates and things like that. So those are usually the ones that I would recommend for Android. The Mobi of course, I hear really good things, but yeah, I still have to get my hands on it. Sweet. I'm just kind of like waiting. Some of you are just dropping by. If you have any questions, this is a live Q&A. You're more than welcome to drop them down in the chat. Right now we're live chat. Everybody's welcome. Everybody's good to go. Now, as you pretty much drop information, here you go. What's going on? Love your name. All good, man. All good. Really tired, but grateful. So here it is, guys. We got the Osmo Action. Osmo Action, honestly, fantastic. I would say it's very similar to the Hero 7, and I'm actually going to do a video about it. I'm going to deep dive and kind of like explore it a little bit more. But there's a couple things and a couple differences that I've been able to kind of like gather. By the way, we played the lottery, so my wife's like waiting to see if we got the numbers. Because if we win the lottery, then I'll just, I don't know, close shop. No, I'm closing. I'm kidding. I will never close the shop. But regardless, I never had a Hero 7. I've gotten my hands on it and I play with it. But that's why I decided to go with the Hero, with the Osmo Action, because the older GoPro that I had was a GoPro 3 Plus. And that was a trip because there's so many new things, the quality has been raised so much between those models and the newer ones. So I just went ahead and decided to get the Osmo Action. And initially, it looks very similar. The accessories and the mounts, actually, this is a GoPro mount that I'm using from my old GoPro. So all those accessories you'll be able to use. So if you have any Polar Pro accessories, or if you have any PGY Tech accessories, you'll definitely be able to use most of those mounts because it uses the same mechanism with the screw at the bottom. Having said that, there's a couple differences. And favorite thing is that screen, man. That screen at the back is pretty dope. And when you're recording, I love the fact that it has that voice option, just like the Hero 7. But that screen in the front, if I just tell it to screen switch, then it just switched it to the front, which is really cool because that way, if you're vlogging or if you're trying to compose your shot, as a matter of fact, I should be vlogging on this because it looks way better than the than the camera on the built-in camera on my computer. So I'm definitely trying with the idea of creating a live stream setup with OBS and having a GoPro do that job. And I love the fact that it has that screen switch. So definitely one of my favorite things. I also noticed that the stabilization on this, the Rocksteady, is definitely way more drastic. So you definitely get way more crop than your regular Hero 7 or even like smartphones. That crop is very, very significant. But it does a fantastic job. I actually, as soon as the stream ends, I'm going to flip the switch and I'm going to release a brand new video on the Feiyutech G6 Plus. And I actually use the Osmo Action in one of the tests. You know how I always go and compare handheld versus the gimbal in the smartphone. And then I kind of like throw in the Osmo in the mix just to make sure we have a controlled clip and we're kind of like not being fooled by the fact that, ooh, it's smooth, right? We want to compare and keep everybody on their toes. But man, this thing looked like it didn't really need any stabilization. So definitely very, 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 very much of a fan. So, but yeah, if you guys have any questions regarding the Osmo Action, drop them down there before we continue having a conversation about this and the Osmo Action as well. Mohammed Gaming says, my iPhone 6s dies in 5 minutes when I use the Osmo Mobile. Man, what I would recommend on this would be to film. First, you got to make sure that your battery is in good shape. If you're on iOS and you go to your battery health, you should be able to see the battery health of your data in the form of a percentage. If you see anything under 80%, I would definitely swap that battery. I think it's like $40 or something like that. That way you can enjoy filming. Also, make sure you're filming in 1080p. If you're pushing 4K or higher frame rates like 60 or something like that, you're definitely going to stress out that gimbal because, you know, back then that gimbal wasn't a thing. And a lot of the optimizations in the camera and the software are demanding way more than what the phone can handle. I encounter that a lot, like that it went to sleep. So that's why it did the little clicky sound. But, you know, like internet 5 years ago wasn't the same. So every time you go to a website now, you're trying to load a way higher fidelity image, a way higher fidelity video and frequencies in terms of audio. And back then, those phones didn't, you know, have that type of demand. So in terms of like what you're demanding of it every day. So definitely I would see how previous devices like a 6 or a 6S or a 7 in terms of performance could fluctuate. So I would definitely get that battery checked out. If not, honestly, there's a lot of benefits in upgrading to either the latest phones or kind of like a newer one, not the latest, but not the oldest. You know what I mean? Like a 7 or an 8 or even a Pixel or even a Samsung phone. It's like there's a lot of benefits, and most companies right now are giving you kind of like deals with trade-ins. I would definitely explore those before you start kind of like investing more in a phone that on the short term you're going to replace. And definitely filming is one of those things that I always upgrade my phone to the latest and greatest because I want to enjoy kind of like that higher bar in terms of quality, higher frame rate. Like I remember when the 10s Max came out, that HDR thing came out with video where you could do the higher frame rate and then it kind of like converts it down and gets a little bit more range in the video at night, which is really useful. So I would definitely tackle that. What's going on? Still here, girl. That name, it's awesome. ND filters on that as well. Yeah, absolutely. Polar Pro has some fantastic ND filters for the Osmo Pocket and the Osmo Action. So I've been definitely using some of them. Actually, right here. I've been using Polar Pro filters, and these are fantastic. I'm using right now the Vivid Collection and the Shutter Collection. Wait a second. Yeah, the Vivid Collection on the Cinema series because they have the polarizer right there built in. And these are beautiful. They come in this nice case, and you can kind of like rotate the polarizer. If you haven't seen that video, I have a video using the Osmo Pocket, but they come out also for the Action. So definitely recommend some of those ND filters. The links to everything that I use is down in the description for like Amazon. And, you know, if you end up picking up, just to be 100% transparent with you on some of these affiliate links, I do have affiliation. So if you end up buying something, most times we get a small little kickback, which helps with, you know, everything that we try to achieve with the channel. So having said that, use it as a resource. You don't necessarily have to buy anything. It's just a way for you to be able to have kind of like a manifest or something where, oh, okay, these are the things that he was using. But if you find it cheaper somewhere else, by all means, like that's the whole idea, is for you to have like a tangible hub of gear that you could see. Oh, cool. I really like that video that Eddie did on the Osmo Pocket or the Osmo Action. What stuff did he use? But, you know, I've challenged some other creators, affiliate links, and found alternatives as well. So it's more for kind of like ideas and things like that. And if you have your own ideas, definitely shoot me a DM. We can totally continue to build that manifest. But yeah, together always vlogs, ND filters, super important. Sunglasses for your camera. 85%, Mohammed, totally. I would honestly swap that out because it's probably not too far from being like fully consumed. And at this point, pretty much 100%, it's not going to be up, you know, one-on-one, but your 85%, it's kind of like 100%. So that battery is not holding as much of a charge as it used to before. I'm thinking about Samsung A50. I haven't gotten my hands on it, but I do have the S10 Plus. And this is honestly the closest I've seen on Android in terms of like video. I still feel that the iPhone is king on video, but this is really, really close. And I really enjoy the variable aperture that the S10 has. So if the A50 has the similar sensor or similar, you know, hardware, then you're definitely going to have a really, really nice, really good quality filming in, with that device. Let's see. And DJ Nexus, using external mics with gimbals for my Galaxy S9 Plus. I use the Video Mic Me. Is there a gimbal that is external mic friendly? I do videos of private events, weddings, sweet 16s. Ooh. Well, honestly, since we're talking about all this stuff, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek of the next video that I'm dropping tonight. So if you don't have the notifications turned on and you are interested in kind of like getting first dibs and seeing everything that's coming out, definitely do so you can see this video. That's Laura right there. Look, she's on the frame.
I just got cold.
She got cold. But you saw she had like all the like the hair thing over there. I'm like looking at the camera and then you pop up. I'm like, what's going on? You turned it off? I'm not. I'm actually sweating. Can you turn it back on, please? Everybody say hi, Laura, in the comments. So anyhow, just to answer DJ Nexus question regarding gimbals that could be friendly with other accessories like microphones or lenses or things like that. So you probably know at this point, I'm kind of like trying to avoid this glare over here. Let me jerry-rig this situation over here in a moment. There we go. So I'm going to use a real quick Smooth Flex tripod, one of my favorite new tripods. And I'm just simply going to attach this little light to the Flex here, just so we can get, there we go, there goes the filter, just so we can get a little bit better light without having to put it too far. So I'm going to get this a little bit closer to us. There we go. And hopefully that's going to be a little bit better regarding, you know, just the illumination that you see on me. So, oh yeah, that actually works a little bit better. Low key, guys, I do have a relationship with Smooth, but this Smooth Flex tripod is amazing. I use it all the time, not only for filming, but also when I'm like trimming my beard or getting a haircut. I kind of like wrap it around the bathroom or different fixtures. So it's definitely very, very useful. Now, I think that's good, but maybe I can put it right here. Nah, that's good. Perfect. So going back to that question regarding a gimbal that could be friendly for heavier payloads. The Moza Mini Me is by far, or was by far, the one gimbal that I would always default to because it had 300 grams of payload capacity. So for example, if you had a case or if you were looking for like a moment attachment, that gimbal also had the screws at the top. So actually, let me get it right here. So if you wanted to attach like a microphone or something like that, the gimbal will give you the option to do so just by simply using the little 1/4-inch screw mounts. And if you get kind of like a male-to-male screw, you could pretty much put lights on this, like I just did with the Murphac Moine L1. And this was by far the one that I would default to for that because it had 300 grams payload capacity. So that is the Moza Mini Me. That's $99, and that thing has wireless charging, 300 grams of payload, 10-hour battery. It's definitely one of those gimbals that everyone's like, yeah, that's a nice beefier gimbal. But Feiyutech, these guys recently sent me the G6 Plus. And this is a sneak peek because I'm releasing a video literally right after this stream. And I'm going to upload that thing. But this guy over here, this is a hybrid gimbal. This is compatible with smartphones, action cameras, mirrorless cameras, small point and shoots. And this gimbal, my friend, has 800 grams of payload capacity. So you could potentially mount your phone and have enough room and sway left and right to put in a microphone and a lens as well. I tried my iPhone with a Sandmarc wide and then also put in the Video Mic Miel microphone by Rode, and I still had a lot of things that I could potentially add on. Even if I had kind of like a cage around the phone with other mounts, I could potentially mount much more payload in terms of like what you can do. So this little guy, I'm releasing a video coming up shortly. It's the G6 Plus. Fantastic gimbal, and awesome option, as well as water resistant. So that's one of the 5 reasons that I shared on that video coming up. 800 grams of payload capacity, splash proof. If you're raining or something like that, you can totally use this. And there's so much more. There's even kind of like a scrolling wheel here, similar to what the Smooth 4 did. So you'll be able to definitely mount more accessories on that one. So yeah, DJ, hopefully that helps. For better quality audio on YouTube. Yes, absolutely. Hey, what's going on, Overlord? Long time no see. Welcome back. E3 week coming up. So definitely hitting that spot this week. So stay tuned for all that crispy reaction content. Mohammed Gaming says the focus on the A50 is slow, which will affect the cinematic shot. That's interesting. Now, the one thing that I noticed, Mohammed Gaming, is that on the Samsung S10 Plus, since it has a variable aperture, you can go from 1.7, I believe, 1.7 or 1.5. I believe it's 1.7. I'm not 100% sure, to 2.4. That actual mechanism opens and closes inside of the smartphone lens. The only problem I have with that is that at times when you get close, it just boom opens up very fast. It's not like smooth, so you will get like weird like shakes and things like that. So if you're trying to do a really nice slow panning shot or a slider shot or a reveal shot, that transition from focusing on an item that's close to the frame to something that's in the foreground happens very like very robotic. It's not very smooth. So just keep an eye out for that. Overlord. Hi, Laura. Greetings, Laura. Everybody said hi. Oh, there you are. I'm kind of like still not catched up to the comments. There we go. Overlord looking more and more professional every day. Thank you so much, Overlord. I appreciate that. Got the Fine K670 mic. This whole thing, guys, I'm not gonna lie. Let me know in the comments if this sounds okay. But this microphone honestly caught me off guard. This little thing is 49 bucks. I think you can find it for like 48, maybe less on Amazon. And it's got a little headphone jack, so I can actually use my headphones right now and hear myself. So you could probably kind of like notice the quality difference from like if you go back to see other live streams, you'll probably notice a huge difference. It also has a really nice volume adjustment tool in the front, so that's kind of like your monitor, and it will also affect the how loud it's going to be, and you can hear it on your ears and everything. Another thing is that this little microphone worked on my phone directly. So I used a USB-C to USB-A adapter on the Samsung Galaxy S10 and on the Pixel, and it worked directly. So I'm actually thinking of just taking this microphone to E3 with my phones and editing everything mobile in LumaFusion. So I'm still contemplating, because it's just pop the microphone, ready to go. And if you're trying to podcast, you could have two and pretty much set up the other microphone on your other person's phone and stuff like that. So definitely very impressed with the K670 by 5.0. What headphones are these, Mohammed? These are the PlayStation Platinum headphones. These are the programmable ones, the ones that you can load different profiles. So right now, just to be fully transparent with you, I have the God of War preset on channel number 2 and the Horizon Zero Dawn preset on channel number 1, I think. Because I was just playing a little bit of God of War. I killed all the Valkyries. Now I just have to finish with the Queen. Yeah. We're drifting like at different topics, which is really cool. That's what it's all about. JD Nexus says, thanks for the feedback. Can't wait for those videos with the gimbal you just showed. Your videos are awesome. Thank you so much, JD Nexus. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. And if you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, definitely feel free to send me a message, a DM or something like that on Instagram. I feel that Instagram is kind of like the most easier platform for me to follow up. I've been answering to every single comment. I've been taking like these 30-minute sessions just to dive in through the comments and kind of like engage and not just simply answer with a, oh, yes or no. Like I really want to have those conversations, because a lot of you actually know more than I do on certain areas. So I just want to make sure that I'm leveraging you as much as you could leverage me. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to definitely throw me a DM on Instagram or email as well. Totally. Perfect. Kay Hirano, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Just to recap for everybody that just showed up, if you're new to the channel and you've never been part of one of these, this was a sporadic stream that I decided to do just to explain a little bit of what we're gonna be doing on the channel from now on, for the coming week actually. And tomorrow I'm going to EA Play once again. We're recording at EA Play a vlog for Smooth. If you haven't seen those vlogs, definitely make sure you check them out and let me know what you think. I have a playlist on my channel, and I'm definitely working with them on a partnership. So I'm creating a specific vlog, a custom vlog just for Smooth with Smooth products. And honestly, it's a lot of fun because I've been just me, like going out, hanging out, but also we've included like tutorials and things like that in there. So hopefully you'll learn a thing or two, and some of that's applicable to other gimbals. So I'm taking a couple Smooth gimbals to E3. I'm taking a Moza gimbal to E3 as well. So tomorrow EA Play, Sunday Microsoft press briefing and Bethesda briefing. Monday we're gonna edit all that stuff, digest it, watch the Nintendo Direct and everything that's happening that day, because it's a loaded day of press conferences. You have Square, you have Ubisoft, you have Kind of Funny, which I'm a fan. Hopefully I get to see them again. They kind of recognize me because every time I go to them, I say, hey, can you take a photo with me? But angry, like looking at the camera, like angry. And they kind of like already, oh, you're the guy with the angry thing. So that's kind of cool. And then, of course, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're going to be from the show floor, recording reactions, videos, and actually tutorials from the show floor. I'm going to take the opportunity that we're going to have waves of humans just walking by, and we're going to play with time lapses. We're going to play with slow motion. and I'm envisioning doing a inception mode tutorial and a dolly zoom or vertigo tutorial with like just people in the hallway and the lines and things like that. So I'm pretty stoked actually about just going to E3 and experience all the games, because at the end of the day, like I have a PS4, I have an Xbox. I literally just became a founder of Google Stadia. I'm pretty stoked about that. I have a Switch. So I'm a gamer. So it's a perfect marriage right now of the things that I love to do. So hopefully you'll come along for the journey this week. And, you know, after that, we're coming back to the regular schedule of coming out with content that's relevant for photography and videography. On top of that, before we go back to the Q&A, we just finished the Feiyu G6 Plus video. That's coming on later tonight, so stay tuned. If you're in the West Coast, you're probably going to be able to catch it, I would say, around the 10 p.m. time frame, more or less, maybe sooner. If you're in the East Coast, definitely it's meant for tomorrow to be the first thing you see when you wake up, hopefully before you go out, have fun with the family, or consume, you know, that awesome weekend barrage of data coming from E3. You'll have something to watch in the morning, and hopefully that motivates you and inspires you in a way. After that, we're doing Osmo Action. We're doing Osmo Pocket. We're doing the Moin L1, which is this light. I'm waterproof and everything, so I'm going to play a little bit with, I'm going to have a little fun with it. I'm just looking at the board, PGY Tech, Moment Lens, Sandmarc lens, and Rhinoshield lens comparison. We're doing a 3-way comparison. I'm pretty stoked about that. Inception tips from E3, vertigo tips from E3, and 100-degree shutter rule from E3, because there's going to be a lot of people walking. So it's going to be really useful for you to see the differences between, hey, should I film at 30 frames per second? Should I film at 60 frames per second? And what in the world is the 180-degree shutter rule? Let me know in the comment section if you know what the 180-degree shutter rule is, because I feel that that's definitely kind of like a little bit more advanced, but very, very important, very essential. If you don't know anything about videography or photography, definitely let me know if you're interested in stuff like that, maybe kind of like pushing a little bit towards the borderline prosumer. What do you think?
Great.
Oh, yeah. They can hear you. They can hear everything. So when you're whispering, they can hear you. These guys are smart. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're fine. My wife's about to kind of like rinse it off over here. So Overlord Raiden says, E3, can't wait. But then again, dread, because so many games, so little money. I hear you, man. Like right now, I've been just trying to pay my debts, you know, credit cards and everything else. So with everything that we've been kind of like able to achieve with the channel, we're trying to kind of like get in shape. So we can just pretty much reinvest in the business and kind of like get more gear, get better lights, get microphones. I just got a big monitor, which is nice because I can have multiple things. But I'm thinking of kind of building a setup. So I totally get it, man. I wish I was a Dear Gamer, so I can get kind of like dibs on games and things like that. So Mohammed Gaming said, thanks for your feedback, and I really want to watch the video that you will upload. Bye-bye. Thank you, Mohammed, for hanging out. Mr. Smart Tech, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate that, man. That really helps a lot. I really, really appreciate it. By the way, also, let me know what you guys think about like Patreon and stuff like that. I was thinking about kind of like, since my focus and my goal is 100% this within the next couple months, I was contemplating of a way for us to just pretty much get a little bit more direct contact. But for now, without, you know, getting compromised and things like that, I just want to know what you guys think about Patreon and about subscriptions and things like that. I'm never going to stop doing YouTube and things like that, but I'm just thinking down the road seminars. I'm thinking down the road meetups. Hey, how do we collaborate together? Like, I've seen a lot of videos from you guys, and I'm pretty sure you've seen mine, of course. And I'm like, oh man, it would be awesome if we could just kind of like collab. So I don't know, just a thought. But thank you so much, Mr. Smart Tech. I really, really appreciate it. Shout out to you for supporting the channel. Thank you so much. Together, always vlog Stadia. I really need to buy in. Man, like I actually got my email and I felt like super stoked about it. Check it out. I actually have it right here. Let me lock it in. So many emails. Ooh, Halloween Horror Nights. Oh my God, this is already here. Ooh, yes. So we got the, oh my goodness. This is not going to work. There it is. So I got the founders situation. Actually, not a bad deal. I'm very stoked about Stadia. So Mr. Smart Tech. Yes, we can hear you. Okay, cool. So you probably were checking out that part. Chris Venture, how would you compare it to the DJI Osmo Pocket? GoPro Hero 7 versus Osmo Action versus the Pocket. Ooh. So this is very interesting, Chris, because the Osmo Action is literally a direct competitor, and it's DJI trying to be in that market and compete with not only the small concealable pocket cams, but that demographic, that specific area of action sports, underwater hunting, all that good stuff, right? But the Osmo Pocket, I feel it's a completely different kind of like lane, so to speak. I feel that the Osmo Pocket is definitely useful for people who don't want to carry or have to worry too much about, just that extra thing. I love the Osmo Mobile 2, but you actually have to use your phone and the Osmo Mobile 2. And at times, like, what if I want to post a story on Instagram? What if I'm waiting for an email? Wait, some of those things at times is kind of like very challenging. Borderline pro device that, can definitely substitute a smartphone to a certain extent. It's just very, very different. Having said that, the Osmo Action right now, it's just so versatile with all the things that you can do with it. And if I were to choose, definitely, I'm personally kind of leaning a little bit more towards the Osmo Action rather than the GoPro. But the GoPro is amazing. The Hero 7 is fantastic. I would definitely, if I was choosing between the Hero 7 and the Osmo Action, I would definitely pick the Action. I feel that having that screen in the front, if you're vlogging or using it as a podcasting rig, it's just very useful for composing and things like that. Having said that, depending on the situation, let's say I'm going to Universal Studios and I'm just walking. I don't want to really like have to worry too much about looking at something. I would honestly use the PGY Tech a strap mount. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but in one of my previous videos, I had it. Actually, it's right here. Let me show you. And that thing completely changed my perspective regarding the Osmo Pocket, because, by the way, PGY Tech, fantastic guys. I met them at CES and they hooked me up. They gave me a couple of accessories, which videos are coming up soon as well. We're just trying to catch up. Long story short, guys, I'm still employed. I'm still working full time. So it's kind of like one of those things that I'm kind of like trying to juggle the amount of commitment of time on my 9 to 5 and then doing this. But long story short, the PGY Tech bracket, this is the strap mount. This is ridiculously useful. And this whole thing over here goes right in the Osmo Action's lightning connector or USB-C connector. So literally you will just simply have the Osmo Action on your backpack and it's always looking forward. And it's really, really cool for B-roll when you're really just trying to be in the moment and you don't want to kind of like have to start like, oh, wait, I'm looking at the world or I'm looking at this experience through my phone rather than being present. I really enjoy that. Having said that, it does work with the Osmo Action too. So one thing to consider. But yeah, PGY Tech hooked me up. They sent me the little mount. They sent me the Osmo Pocket mounts as well. So the Osmo Pocket goes right here and your smartphone goes right here on the left. Very, very useful. And they even gave me the little kind of like wrist strap. So I'm thinking of going on a bicycle ride soon on a Super 73, which is coming. Very stoked about that. My wife actually asked me today, hey, why don't we go and try them out? Because I kind of like want to try it out and see if I like one. So I'm like, yes, please, let's go. So PGY Tech, definitely check it out. But just to answer your question once again, Chris, if I would pick between action cameras, personally, I like the Osmo Action a little bit better, but that doesn't mean that the Hero 7 is not good. On the contrary, it's amazing. Having said that, for my type of activity, the Osmo Pocket is definitely going to get the results that I'm looking for regarding stabilization, 100%. and flexibility too, because it's just so small. And I'm not compromising my phone. So at times I've been able to record something at the same time as I'm recording on my phone. And it's just, I don't know. For my filmmaking, I really enjoy that combo. So hopefully I've answered your question. Overlord, this year is the year of, oh man, you're too kind, Overlord. Thank you so much. Dan Silva, saludos, Ecuador. Dang, Ecuador. I would love to go there. That's awesome. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much. Chris Venture, thank you for answering the question. One more question. On what software are you editing currently? Love your videos, by the way. Thank you so much, Chris. I'm glad you're enjoying them. I'm actually using Final Cut Pro at the moment. I am currently, this is kind of like low key over here. Don't tell anybody. But I'm currently on the test flight for LumaFusion 2.0. LumaFusion, by the way, LumaTouch is an application that you can download on the App Store on iOS for both iPhone and iPad. And long story short, guys, this thing is probably the closest thing to Final Cut right now on mobile. This even lets you load LUTs in color grading and all that good stuff. If I'm not mistaken. So you could stack literally 6 lanes of 4K video, and you'll have total of 12 audio streams as well on a smartphone, on your iPad. This is amazing. So I've been kind of like flip-flopping back and forth between Final Cut and LumaTouch. I did have a little bit of time with Adobe Rush, but I personally decided to do Fusion and Final Cut instead, because I've been already invested in that ecosystem for a little while. That's Laura. Hello from China. Hey, hello. Welcome to the stream. I don't know. I cannot really understand the name, but the person said hello from China. Thank you so much for taking the time and hanging out with me. What time it is out there? Yeah, because that's like a big difference right now. Right now in China, it's around noon. Wow. I wish it was noon here. I would like to get an iPhone someday you're currently on Android. What phone are you currently using, Overlord? Because I'm actually flip-flopping between iPhone XS Max. I'm flip-flopping between the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, the Pixel 3 XL, and recently, guys, I've been able to get my hands on the Pixel 3a. Yo, I'm not going to lie. This thing is impressive. In this case, it's like a fabric. Actually, let's do some ASMR real quick over here so you can hear that. I'm just kidding. This is strictly photography and videography. We're not doing no ASMR. But honestly, the Pixel 3a, for that entry-level cost, you're getting really awesome high-end features. This thing is $399. You can shoot 4K 30, 1080, 120 at the most with Filmic Pro. You have a really nice screen. You have a fantastic night mode camera. So Overlord, if you're switching to iPhone, fantastic videos, fantastic operating system. But if you're sticking with Android, man, the Pixel lineup is just fire right now. It's amazing. Samsung J3 Prime. Nice. Yeah, man. Like if you're sticking with Samsung, the S10 looks good. If you decide to go, to remain Android, the Pixel lineup right now, it's just ridiculously good. So I totally recommend it. And Stadia is going to work on Pixel first. So I'm really stoked about that, guys. Like the future is now. For those of you who don't know what Stadia is a Google gaming streaming service, kind of like Netflix. But for $10 a month, you'll be able to stream games to your browser on your computer, to your browser, to your Chromecast, to your smartphone, and you can use pretty much their controller or any controller. So the future is now. I can see it. I can feel it. I'm like waiting for my Starbucks coffee, or like I'm on a break or something like that, and I'm just like playing Destiny 2 or something. I don't know. It's pretty awesome. Mr. Smart Tech says, can I get that app link? Actually, I can find it on the App Store. Absolutely. Let me actually open up a new tab over here while we're doing this, and I'm just going to type in LumaFusion on Chrome here. LumaFusion on the iTunes App Store. I'm going to copy that link, and we should be able to get that going right now. So hopefully that works out for you. Boom, boom, boom. And what do you think about the Insta360 one? Is Pete Britton? Thank you so much for joining the stream, Pete. Pete, I've gotten my hands on the Insta360 one a couple times. The first model that came out, just the 361, that was amazing. That was mind blowing. I was like, not even into like making videos on the internet when I tried that thing, and I was just blown away. And then they added the 1X with a little bit higher quality, a little bit higher dynamic range, and better stitching. And honestly, like, that's like crazy ridiculous. Like, that's the future. And I can envision in the near future, when I do this full time, having a consistent setup or a consistent show. Let's say like, every Friday or every Tuesday we have a show. We have a live podcast session with other creators and things like that. I could see how having an Insta360 could be game changing, because you'll literally be able to pan and switch between cameras without moving the camera or without having two cameras, which is really awesome. I'm very, very excited for that. I also had the opportunity to play with the Insta360 at CES, and they had an amazing booth, amazing demos, really good civilization. So totally recommend if you're into VR and 360 videos and stuff like that. They're killing it right now. They're doing really, really good job. I would love to get my hands on it. So if Insta360 or anybody that knows Insta360 stumbles upon this video, please, let's talk. Send me a DM. I would love to test it out, compare it, and just showcase that. That would be amazing. Do you have any suggestions for your choice of editing software or Android on Windows? On Windows, I would definitely say Premiere, but there was this other program. Oh man, I forgot the name. I had it over here. I'm just gonna do a quick search here for you guys, see if I can recall the name. Oh, actually, I have an email that had that name. Bear with me for 1 second. There was one piece of software. Video editing. Let me see. Man. So I believe on Android you can use KineMaster or KineMaster. It's Kine. That's also a really cool mobile editor, and I believe they're also on Android, if I'm not mistaken. So I would definitely check that out. But also the other one, it's called Filmora Pro. I was actually very impressed. It's not too expensive. Filmora, it's KineMaster. Filmora Pro definitely is kind of like borderline similar to what I would say, kind of like a little bit better in terms of features than Adobe Rush, but not as robust as Premiere. So it's kind of like a balance in between. So Filmora Pro would be a really good alternative. It's both Android, Windows, and Mac OS. And then the KineMaster or KineMaster, I'm not 100% sure, but it's right here on the comments by Mr. Smartech. That one's also really good as well. So why Filmic Pro is not compatible with certain Android smartphones? Is it because of the OS? So it is not because of the OS, because I do have the Filmic Pro app on Pixel 3, Pixel 3a, and Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, as well as iOS. Here's the thing with just overall development on iOS versus Android. And that's why for the longest time, Android always got the short end of the stick regarding like the features of the apps. So if you let's just kind of like reel it into a developer standpoint and say, okay, I want to create an app. I want to create Filmic Pro, which is an amazing app, by the way. If you're into filmmaking, Filmic Pro, they should charge more for that app. Let me just put it out there, because that application is just amazing, a must-have. So check them out. They're amazing. But if you're trying to make Filmic Pro and you decide, hey, let's make Filmic Pro for iPhone, technically speaking, on iOS right now, just uninformed out of the top of my head, pretty much we're looking at about probably one optimization for smartphones that have a home button, one optimization for smartphones that don't have a home button, and maybe iPad. That's it. So it's pretty much 2 or 3 optimizations that use the same development kit, and all the parts that are on the phones are virtually the same in terms of like how they behave. When you look at that from the Android side of things, for the most part, as far as other developers sharing this knowledge with me, is the fact that you have Samsung with specific cameras from specific manufacturers with specific specifications. That's a loaded word right there. Regarding aperture, regarding ISO. But then you have Google coming up with a Pixel lineup with a camera that's a completely different manufacturer, completely different sensor, different structure, different aperture. Then you have OnePlus with different manufacturing in terms of cameras, in terms of internals. So from a developer standpoint, it is very, very challenging to fully optimize and take advantage of all of them. And make that make sense. It's kind of like a return of investment thing. It doesn't make sense for me as a business to put people and pay them a lot of money so they can truly fine tune the app on those phones versus diving in on the optimizations that are truly going to provide value not only to the user but also to the company. So it's kind of like a balance where it totally sucks when you open up DJI Go, for example, on your Pixel, and you don't have a 4K 60 option, or you don't have a 4K 1080 60 option. It's all kind of like very basic. You don't have slow motion mode. Your face tracking is 720p or 1080p instead of 4K. And those things are definitely very annoying, but from a development standpoint, I totally understand where they typically code an app for the lowest common denominator in terms of specs, and then they fine tune and they pretty much perform optimizations on the flagship phones more often than none. So if you end up having one of those pretty awesome, pretty cool, but mid-tier phones that are a little bit more affordable, you're definitely probably going to notice a big difference in terms of how the apps behave, they run. So it's unfortunate, but from a development standpoint, having that just pool of phones, it's very difficult for them to just allocate resources to make something work on a phone that probably not a lot of people in the grand scheme of things are going to enjoy. So it's unfortunate. Hopefully Android becomes a little bit more streamlined. They've been talking about that, how parity is often a big issue. So they've been sharing data and information about that. So hopefully in the near future, they address those things. But Free Vision, guys, are one of the few manufacturers right now in terms of like the software and gimbals that are very, very close to parity right now with the frame rates, with the slow-mo, with the face tracking, all that stuff. So they're really, really good. I highly recommend that. So Chris, definitely loaded question side. Atlan, definitely a longer response to that, but I feel that that's, the main challenge from phone to phone. Unruled Gris, good evening. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming to the stream. I appreciate your time. I'm using Asus Zenfone 5Z, but can't install Filmic Pro. Yeah, typically it's because of specifications. Filmic Pro is definitely a very intensive app in terms of resources. So I was speaking to them at CES and kind of like picking their brain and asking, hey, why can I do LUTs? Why can I do log V2 on 4K 60? And he was kind of like telling me, hey, the reason is because, we could technically do it, but your battery, because of processing. And Filmic Pro actually does frame by frame analysis. They're actually analyzing your footage real time. So sometimes phones might not have the horsepower to do that. Contrary to other apps that might just simply overlay a filter to kind of like make it seem like you're doing flatter image, Filmic Pro is actually analyzing a frame in pretty much applying that correction based on the sensor, right? So it's a really, really sophisticated thing, similar to what SLRs do. So definitely recommended. But hopefully they improve that. You go for Keymaster. Yeah. Any best suggestions for time-lapse videos from Android? Definitely Filmic Pro is a really good app. They have, if you have a smartphone that supports Filmic Pro has the capability for you to set up your intervals as well. So definitely recommend Filmic Pro. Also, if you're using a gimbal, the gimbal app I know that the Smooth mobile app has really, really good options regarding interval selection. So you don't necessarily have to use the gimbal with it if you don't have it, but you could use the app and pretty much leverage the software in it. But also if I had to pick another application from these guys, I would definitely, I would just definitely consider the Free Vision app and the Smooth app. The DJI Osmo app is really, really good with the intervals because it goes all the way down to 0.5 and you can pretty much push it all the way down to minutes as far as interval goes. So I would definitely leverage those for time lapses and things like that. Let's see. Thanks for your explanation, Said. Thank you for taking the time and hanging out with me. I appreciate that. Hopefully that helps other people. Your live stream should be called Eddie's Corner. That is awesome, Overlord. That is definitely something that it doesn't sound bad. Now, I was actually thinking of kind of like having a thing for merch and things like that and calling kind of like the community the ninja walkers, because when we're using these gimbals, we kind of like try to walk like ninjas to avoid any impact. I don't know. Let me know if you think of a couple names so we can name our community, but Eddie's Corner. That's pretty cool. Currently, I'm naming it Ask EMT Live, but Eddie's Corner kind of like sounds pretty good. Taking a little sip over here. All right, guys. So before we start kind of winding down, I just want to kind of like give you the opportunity if you have any questions regarding the Moza Mini S or pretty much a Free Vision build to SE that we just reviewed on the channel. If you haven't seen those videos, ones were done on the stream, definitely check them out. I feel that these gimbals are fantastic. They're definitely hitting a couple different demographics regarding their price point and features, but I'm very, very impressed by the value that you get on the Moza Mini S Essential for the price, like $79. So I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty stoked with this. So if you guys have any questions regarding the Moza Mini S, fire away before we start wrapping it up. That way we can release that video about the Feiyutech G6 Plus, and then we can get ready to hit E3 head on because that starts tomorrow, guys. So once again, we're going to be posting a lot of videos that might not necessarily be related to gimbals. That's okay. We're coming back at the end of the week with more content from E3, but photo and video related, like the lens comparison, like the tips for vertigo, tips for dolly zoom, of course, and inception mode. So don't get discouraged if you see gaming stuff. It's not going to be like me sitting down 100%. By the way, like I'm not doing gameplay on this channel 100%. I do have another channel that I opened. I haven't done anything in it. It's just like precautionary measure. I have that. I locked the name in just so we can kind of like, if for some reason that shows up. But at any given time, if I decide to stream, it won't be on this channel. Just letting you know. This is going to be our community. This is going to be our photo corner, or video corner. This is a cooperative regarding filmmaking on smartphones. So we're not going anywhere. But we're going to drop probably like Sunday. I'm not joking. Probably like 10 videos at least. Let's see. Palm Beach, Paul Realtor. Hello. When I use my Note 8 with Osmo 2 in selfie mode to vlog, my Samsung always does this thing where it autofocuses and it looks bad in my videos. Any fixes? Yes. And that is that rubber banding. That phone is always trying to focus, and it's searching for you. Now, that's the one thing that I've never understood in the cameras on the Samsung, because it's always kind of like looking at all the information on the frame and trying to focus on everything. Typically, I tap to focus on the screen and hold it to lock my face in it. Also, if you use manual mode on either Filmic Pro or the DJI Go app, you might be able to just simply lock the focus in your desired rotation. So your desired focal length, my mistake. In this case, honestly, I would definitely recommend Filmic Pro as an alternative. I would test it out because Filmic Pro will give you that extra control to focus closer to you or further and kind of like lock it in. but give it a shot and see next time you try to film, if you tap on the screen and lock it in on your face, that way it's not trying to focus and kind of like search for something to focus on. So I would definitely look for that. And to wait, E3 is tomorrow. Overlord, EA Play starts tomorrow, Saturday, right? Tomorrow, Saturday? I just want to make sure I'm not losing it. So EA Play starts tomorrow. I'm going to EA Play all day. I'm playing the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and I'm really, really excited. I'm playing that at around 5 o'clock. I have an appointment. But throughout the day, I'm just going to be filming, capturing, meeting, enjoying, just trying to soak everything in. And on Sunday, we're doing the Microsoft press conference. We're going to be live from there. I'm not going to be doing a live stream, but I'm going to be capturing reactions 100%. Because I really like how people get all crazed up. Like, I don't know if you've seen, but one of the most popular videos, actually the most popular video on my YouTube channel, it's a reaction from The Last of Us, a video game that was announced at the PlayStation Experience in Anaheim about 2 years ago. And that place was bananas when they showed up. I was freaking out. You can hear me screaming in the video. I was like, oh my God. And then last year, Microsoft kicked off the show with Halo Infinite. And I was like telling my buddy next to me, hey man, this is Halo, dude. Like, this is Halo. And then when Master Chief showed up, oh my God, I was losing it. So it's just fantastic that we live in a world where we can film with our phones, such amazing videos, and then these machines that we game and kind of like just remove ourselves from like current reality just to experience something. Those are my books. Whenever I want to wind down and read or just kind of like take a break from videos for a moment, just to kind of like take a break, gaming is my book. Gaming is the way that I kind of like wind down and take a break, just to kind of like get my mind off of the computer, the keyboard, and the monitor. So I'm just very stoked. Then after Microsoft press briefing, I'm going to go to the Bethesda press briefing, which is going to be awesome. I'm pretty stoked about that. And then Monday, I'm not going anywhere so far, unless something else happens from here, like in between here and there. But Monday is going to be my day to gather all that footage and kind of like start chopping out videos for the Smooth blog that I have coming up and for the tips and tricks videos. So yes, Overlord, that is happening. E3 literally technically started yesterday with the Stadia and the Bungie live stream that they did at Twitch. So thanks. Looking that up tonight. Awesome. Paul, hopefully that helps you. If you have any other questions or anything like that, feel free to, leave a comment on the relevant videos, or if you feel like sending me a DM on Instagram, you're more than welcome to reach out over there. Hello from Brazil, Julio. Thank you so much for coming out. Brazil. Very stoked for you to be able to join us. We've been going live for about an hour and 8 minutes. So we're definitely looking to slowly fade into the night. It is 9:20 in the West Coast, and we still have a couple things to wrap up out here. Some of you might be on the East Coast. It's probably a little bit later, but it's okay because it's the weekend. We can take it. We can handle it. We're still young. But just to give you the heads up, I have literally DJI Osmo Mobile 2, Smooth Mobile, Smooth Pro, Snopa, Mini Me, Mini S, Free Vision, built to SE, Smooth 4, and Free Vision built to M. I also have the Osmo Action right here, which was the topic of the video at the beginning. We shared our initial thoughts on it. If you have any other questions, if you have any suggestions, this is the time right now before we kind of like start wrapping it up, so we can just enjoy the rest of the night, sip on some amaretto sour, and just continue growing and creating. Beautiful. Oh, by the way, I've been also playing with the Smooth lens. The Smooth lens is awesome. It's very inexpensive. That's what I like about it, and it works with the Pixel really well. Also, I've been also using, I had it here. There we go. I've been using a lens that's been kind of like giving Moment a run for its money a little bit. It's a little bit more affordable, and it's the Rhinoshield. So this is another video that's coming from E3, and it looks very, very similar. It has kind of like a hybrid look between the Sandmarc and the Moment. But this one also has a macro lens integrated, so you can unscrew the top part. Very amazing stuff, guys. So from E3, I'm going to do a video comparison between all of them, photo and video comparison, so you guys can kind of like explore different things if you're looking to add lenses to your gimbals. Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're trying to rock. All righty. So right now we got about 10 people in the stream. If you have any questions or suggestions, now is the time to drop them down so we can totally answer them. And if you have any suggestions, feel free to drop them as well. Any comments, any suggestions, any feedback at all. Thank you to those of you who took some time today to hang out with me. Thank you so much, Mr. Smart Tech, for supporting the channel. Mr. Smart Tech dropping the 20 to help us out. Thank you so much. That helps the channel big time. Ultimately, that's, helping us grow. All right, Zaid says, I tried shooting panel mode on the Osmo Mobile 2 using the Ulanzi short tripod. When I was shooting, the gimbal shakes and the photos don't stitch properly. Should I use a longer tripod? I'm going to be honest with you. I personally hold it with my hand, but I did a panel shot using the, in this case, if I'm not mistaken, was the Manfrotto Pixie tripod. That tripod was amazing because, definitely it's a little bit beefier, so it doesn't shake too much. But I would recommend either that one or, believe it or not, the Smooth Table Tripod, which is this little guy. It's very inexpensive as well, similar to the Smooth Flex. Cool thing about this guy, by the way, I totally have a relationship with Smooth, but I really, really like these tripods. They're really good for like vlogging. They have a ball head. They have a water kind of like pretty much level there, which is really cool. And the cool thing about this thing is that you could totally use the Osmo Action on it. You can use a SLR on it, but the smartphone integration is right there. So you don't really need to bring multiple things. And if you want to use your gimbal, for example, for the Osmo Mobile, you could leverage just this simple tripod. Pretty much put your gimbal over here, and the legs extend a little bit too. So you can have a little bit extra, firmness and elevation. So it's not like dancing around on you. So totally recommend this, the Smooth Tabletop Tripod. The Smooth Flex tripod is the one that I actually have the light in, but I believe I have another one. Bear with me for a second. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff around here. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Here it is. So this is the Smooth Flex. And the cool thing about the Smooth Flex is that this one kind of folds. This is kind of like a Joby. I really like this one a little bit better because the legs don't pop. So it's really cool. And then pretty much you have the option to bend them, increase the kind of like elevation or height, or just simply use it kind of like for vlogging. Really cool. I've wrapped around the legs of these things on like rails and poles and things like that. So having said that, for time lapses and things like that, I would definitely say the table tripod. It's called the Smooth Table Tripod. I'm going to drop a link for the table, just the Smooth website in general. I have it right here, just in case anybody needs anything from a Smooth. They're definitely a sponsor of the Smooth vlog, but I honestly really, really, really enjoy their tripods and their gimbals. So I have no shame in sharing that for you. Also, if anybody else is interested in lenses and stuff like that from Jesus Christ, I forgot the name suddenly. I got so much stuff in my mind. Sandmarc. I actually have a promo code with them. So if you ever pick up anything from Sandmarc, you can actually save some money. So if anybody here was thinking, hey, maybe I was looking for lenses, EMT will get you 10% off. I don't mind if you don't buy anything, honestly. Like this is not the end goal of the channel, but I totally get I'm kind of like on Overlord's boat right now. Like it's like I want all these games, I want all this gear, and I'm slowly chipping away. If you want to save a buck, feel free to DM me and ask me, hey, do you have like a code or something? And if I do, I'll definitely give you a code so you can save some money. But right now I have a code with Moza that will save you 5%, I believe, or something like that. I have a code with Sandmarc that will save you 10%, which is really awesome. And I also have a code with Super 73 bikes. So let me know if you were thinking of getting anything. Hey, EMT, do you have a code for this company? If I do, I'll send it to you. That way you can save some money. Perfect. All right, let's see what we got before we wrap it up for the night. Together always vlogs, Moza Mini Me app or native. It depends. Because if I'm thinking of doing any inception modes, you can do that with the native as well. But if I'm doing motion time lapses, for example, that's very important. Or if I'm using any of the native camera app, just like the flexibility of it, how quick you can get to it, then I more often than not just slide over sirens on my end, just so you know. I would definitely leverage that. But if you have the Moza Genie app, you can use a Bluetooth microphone with it. You can change your shutter speed, your ISO, your exposure compensation. There's just a lot of functionality on these apps. So it all comes down to what you're trying to do. I often if I'm out and about and I'm vlogging or just capturing B-roll, more often we'll film it with the native camera app, Filmic, usually between those. But when I'm about to I want a motion time lapse of this whole scenery, I will definitely dive into the Moza Mini, Moza Genie app, or whatever gimbal I'm using at the moment. I will definitely leverage the interval capabilities. So hopefully that helps. Together always vlogs. Saeed Adlan, thank you so much for taking the time to come out from Malaysia. Woo. Thank you so much for taking your time and sharing it with me. It really means a lot. And everybody that's swung by to the stream, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Together Always Vlog. Gotcha. I'm ordering right now. Thanks for the info. Together Always, before you order, what phone were you using? Julio Oliveira, you have a great beard. The only thing that grows on my face is a goatee. Hey, man, you got the goatee. You got the goatee game going. Yeah, I got this beard, and I like it. I really like the beard. It's getting a little too much, but we're getting there. I have iPhone 8 Plus. Perfect. Then you'll have a blast, my friend. I've noticed, though, that on certain phones, unless you update the firmware, like for the Samsung, for example, the older firmware didn't work with the newer apps. So there was a little disconnect over there, but I believe they've been addressing those. But if you have iPhone 8 Plus, you're going to have a blast. Wireless charger? Are you kidding me? 300 grams of payload capacity? Yes, please. Put in a lens on that thing and you'll have a rig right away. Right? Look at that. My wife was she was doing stuff, and then she looked at me and she was like that, like that meme. That's pretty awesome. Overlord, are you able to talk to animals now since you got the beard?
What?
Overlord. He was asking if I can talk to animals now that I have this beard.
You can do a lot of things.
I can do a lot of things with the beard, man. The most that I've been doing with the beard recently, it's just getting stuck on these hairs. So I've been kind of carrying a little comb and kind of trying to get stuff out, but a lot of food and stuff like that. All righty. Well, everyone, thank you so much. Honestly, for hanging out with me. We talked throughout this hour plus, bro, give me a second. Let me wrap this up and then I'll let you do your thing. We talked about the Osmo Action, my initial reactions and things that I like over the Hero 7. If you're catching this late, this is going to be available on demand for you to be able to rewatch it and listen to it as a podcast. If you didn't know I have a podcast, I do have the audio version of all my videos as a podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it, all that stuff. So we talked about the Hero 7 versus the Osmo Action. We talked about the Mini S. We talked about E3 and the upcoming schedule of Insanity coming over. So once again, please don't be afraid and be like, oh, EMT switch over. He's doing gaming now. No, We're not playing games in this channel. I'm just going to E3. I'm going to film there. And I might capture people's reactions to the games with my smartphone. So that's what's going to be happening. So, ooh, yeah. All right. So, Overlord, are you you're able to talk? That comment killed me. Oh, man, just woke up. You are the man. Cold Life, thank you for swinging by. I appreciate your time, man. We're slowly wrapping it up, but you made it. You made it. And Brodot, you made it. Brodot, you ready for E3, my man? You are ready for this E3? I'm super hyped up. We're ready to go. Jado, excellent input. Good day from Malaysia. Keep them coming, Eddie and Miss Pokey. Hey, look at that. Little shout out for Miss Pokey in the background getting her hair did. Out from London, England. Hey, what's up, Cold Life Man from London? I want to go to London. We're getting Brodot. I'm going to the Xbox briefing. I'm going to the Bethesda briefing, and I'm going to go day 1, 2, 3. So we're out there. So stay tuned. Stay tuned to the channel because I'm going to be posting a lot, and also follow me on Instagram. That way you can see stories of things like as they're happening, because I'm going to be doing a lot of like sporadic stuff. So yeah, guys. Unless you have extra questions before wrapping it up, I think that's a wrap. We did a really nice touch base. We haven't done this in a while. Now, honestly, I missed connecting and answering those questions and just sharing what was happening on the world, on the days of photography, videography, and just for this week, a little bit of gaming on the side. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, guys, we're going to continue to do this. We're working on a little bit better scheduling. That way we can do this at least once a week. What do you think? Do you think we should do a weekly show of just Q&A? Let me know in the comments. Wish I could fly over and be there. I would be glued to your channel at E3 time. That's awesome. And so watch the conference, and then once the conference for Xbox and Bethesda are done, then swing over to the channel, because I'm going to be posting, like, as soon as it's done, I'm going to be uploading. Probably on day 1, 10 plus videos of people losing their minds to AAA games and amazing experiences. So we're super stoked. Oh, and I also got Stadia Brodot. So I'm ready. We're ready to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. It really means a lot that you decided to hang out with me on a Friday night. And you decided to tell the world, hey, bro, right now, I'm just here with EMT and a couple of my friends that love photography, love videography, and that some of them also happen to be gamers. So I really honestly appreciate your time. You are definitely helping me follow my dreams and pursue my passion. So for that, I'm always grateful. Thank you for supporting my channel. And you know that you can always reach out to me via social media, DM me, send me an email, whatever you need. If I can support you, I will. And as always, guys, thank you so much for taking the time. Once again, just like my friend Dear Gamer says, EMT signing out. Nice meeting your channel. Thank you, Julio, so much. Thank you so much. Cold Life, thank you. We'll watch now at work. Thank you so much, Julio. Hope you have a great day at work. Thank you, Julio. Good night as well. Have a good night, Brodot. And we're going to have a fun time at E3. Thank you so much. And if you have any lingering questions, send me a message. Send me a DM. All righty, guys. EMT, now for real, signing out.